Hello and welcome to Brodual. Today we have our favourite category of mods, Immersion. These are any types of mods that help you sink further into the world of Skyrim. This can be achieved in many different ways, as you'll see in today's 5 mods. First up is public executions. When you first enter Solitude, you get to witness Rogvia's punishment for treason against Skyrim and her people. But after that event, the area is never used again and the poor executioner is out of a job. Public executions aims to fix that by adding scheduled daily executions for the rest of Skyrim's traitors. At the start of every morning, the guards will prepare for that evening's execution, so you'll see them lead a prisoner or hang around in that area looking busy. Then from 6 to 8 PM that evening, the execution will begin. Just like Rogvia's execution, a crowd will form and you get to watch all of the action. But obviously the killing of a bandit or other common traitor isn't going to pull in a large crowd. As of right now, the mod is relatively simple. The daily executions work as intended, and even though it's not the most interesting thing in the world, it's still nice to see it going on, even in the distance. Seeing prisoners chained up or hearing the echoing sound of the axe hitting the chopping block, it all adds that extra bit of life to the capital. The mod also comes with a very basic capture and rescue system. However, its current state is more of a proof of concept rather than an actual feature. If you purchase a unique dagger from the executioner, you can hit a bleeding out bandit with it to schedule them for execution that very same day. While that's very simple, it's still pretty cool to see a bandit chief you caught be executed for their crimes. All in all, we really like what the mod adds to the atmosphere of Solitude. However, there's also plenty of room for improvement. The guards, for example, should probably be in Imperial or Solitude attire, rather than generic steel plate armour. Also, it'd be nice if there's more spontaneity to the executions, like maybe one is for a popular bandit chief so it pulls in a bigger crowd. Or maybe the prisoner tries to escape and you have to help hunt him down. At the very least, this is definitely a mod for your tracking list. Sticking with the theme of death, we have sinking bodies. I'd be willing to bet that nearly every Skyrim player has dragged a dead body into water at some point. Whether it's the chief of an annoying group of bandits, or even after the death of your own follower, the idea of watching their body float away is oddly satisfying. However, if you ever thought watching them bob around on the surface isn't as satisfying as it would be to watch them sink, then this is the perfect mod for you. The mod adjusts the buoyancy of bone, flesh and skin so that they'll now slowly drift to the bottom of the water. We're not entirely sure on the logistics of what would happen. As far as we know, the body would initially sink, but as the lungs fill with air, it might slowly rise to the surface. The mod also doesn't differentiate between a body carrying a full set of heavy armour, which would definitely sink, and a naked body, which will probably float. So while the mod isn't the most scientifically accurate, we're willing to give it a pass and think it's a nice little change to the game. For an even more niche mod, we have Ask the Way. This is a mod that lets you ask guards, beggars or children for directions in any city. If you need to find a certain store, a house or any other popular landmark, you simply just need to ask the way and they'll lead you to it. Guards charge a small fee of 5 septims, children will do it for free and beggars will help you if you have the gift of charity. Most of you are experienced players and Skyrim's towns and cities aren't exactly as large or as confusing as the Imperial City in Oblivion, where the feature was more useful. However, the mod still works well, the NPCs use vanilla voices and even point at the destination, so we thought we'd include it anyway. Maybe if you're the 1 in 10,000 that's new to Skyrim, or maybe you know someone that's terrible with directions, then this can be a pretty nifty mod for getting around. For today's 4th mod, we have Skyrim Battle Aftermath. This is a mod that aims to add several carefully crafted Civil War aftermath scenes to Skyrim. As of right now it adds 3, with plans to add at least 2 more. We're going to be extremely careful when choosing what we show for this mod during the video. As the scenes are handmade, once you've seen them once, you've essentially got everything out of the mod. So because of that, we're only going to show very focused shots of each scene. The scale of the battles is huge, bigger than any actual physical battle that could take place within Skyrim's engine without crashing. There's a huge amount of debris, from crashed supply carts, boats and other resources. There's of course dead, sometimes half-buried soldiers, and also dead horses. The best thing about the mod is that each area of the aftermath was chosen carefully. It doesn't just shove in a bunch of random dead soldiers, but each scene tells the story of the battle. With a bit of imagination you can see how the battle started, how certain soldiers fell, and even potentially who won the battle. The mod works extremely well alongside a Civil War battle mod, like War Zones, where actual battles also take place. Both mods put a lot of emphasis on the fact that Skyrim is currently on the midst of a civil war. And finally, sticking with the Civil War theme, we have the most simple mod of today's spotlight. The Civil War cleanup mod offers a somewhat more immersive method for cleaning up the damage caused by the Civil War questline. After the war is finally over, you just need to speak to either Ulfric, or if you're Imperial scum, then General Tullius, about cleaning up the damage done to the major cities. After that simple conversation, all of the damage will be reversed. Up until this point you would have had to use console commands or other more invasive mods to clean up. This also gives you the ability to hold off on the repairs if you'd rather wait for a while after the war's end. And that's it for today's spotlight. As always, be sure to leave endorsements on any mod you enjoy. If you know of any other immersive boosted mods, then be sure to let us know down below. Be sure to check out g2a.com, and thanks for watching.